Christmas in the Porsche garage. I ordered some parts from Pelican Parts on Sunday. Today is Wednesday, and lo and behold, I got my package delivered from California, USA to the Great White North of Canada. Unfortunately, when I got the package, it looked like this. Big rip. You know, I go in and pull some parts out. So I'm hopefully optimistic that everything is in there and I don't have to chase any parts down. Now it will really suck. So what kind of goodies do we have here? Well, let's see. This is not the first time ordering parts from Pelican, but the first time ordering Porsche parts from Pelican. So need the paper. Let's see what we got here. Wow, got a Pelican sticker. What do we do with that? Alright, so let's see. I have my trusty list here. Double check to be sure I have everything here. Those are the oil filters. 2 oil filters. Got myself some crankshaft bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got myself 6 Porsche spark plugs. 6 flywheel to clutch pressure plate bolts, 2 and 2 4 oil cooler O-rings. What else do I got here? Okay, these are the fuel injector gaskets, 2 exhaust, flange gaskets. We have 2 drain plug washers. Let's see what we got here. There's another bag in here. This looks like a bearing, IMS. There should be 6 intake manifold gaskets. We have, let's see, what's this here? Main rear seal. I have never heard of Victor Reinz products. There's only one way to find out how good they are. They're not Porsche, but I think they're about half the price of the OEM Porsche rear main seal. And then we have our, I think I bought 6, but too many of them, I know that. That's 4, 5, and 6. 6 of the camshaft plugs. This must be the water pump gasket. I've decided to not replace the water pump yet because I have 2 of them and we have a problem. Unless everything's in here. Let's see. This is the IMS kit. It looks like that's a bearing, but I could be wrong here. I'm wrong. Looks can be very deceiving. I guess I'm looking at, you know why? Because this looks the perfect size of a wheel bearing. Now, really closer here. This is exciting stuff. A nice orange rag here. Let's get really, really close and check out what Pelican Parts has made done here. Actually, let me just say something here. Last week, before I ordered all these parts on Pelican, I actually called 2 local Porsche dealerships I have here in the area. I thought perhaps, you know, it's a known problem with these IMS bearings. There's been a lawsuit against Porsche that they lost. I figured they probably have a stockpile of IMS bearings. Bearing's a bearing. Anyway, when I called and asked how much or if they sold them, I was quickly informed, or actually kind of laughed at really by the parts people at the dealership, whose name I rather not mention. But they laughed at me and they said if I wanted a bearing, I had to get the engine rebuilt. Or basically that's what it meant. It meant if I want a bearing, that means I have to get the engine rebuilt. Right. Okay. That makes sense. No problem, lawsuit, they've changed the design, but I can't buy a bearing. So I'm not sure who designed this, if it's Pelican, LN Engineering, or whoever. Thank you for having this update kit for us Porsche owners who don't want to get the engine rebuilt to replace a bearing. So kudos to whoever came up with this whole concept. Looks like a whole bunch of things in here. Let's take a peek at what we have here. not sure what's S and D. And here is, ooh. Now how nice is that? Let's take it out of the bag here. Oh wow, this is so nice. Look at that. Ah, yes. Look at this. So just from looking at information online, this center bolt here is just a straight shaft where the original design has a cutout here. So this already looks stronger to me. What we got here? So what I'm missing is the plate. So the 3 bolts here, that the set screws and the O-ring, but no cover plate. I guess I was under the conception that I get this new cover here, but I guess I don't, and I just replace the gasket here. So this is a 3-groove gasket, and from looking at pictures online, I believe the original one comes with a 1-groove gasket. So I guess that's it. I thought there was a new cover coming for that. I'm gonna actually look online and see if I'm wrong with that, about that. S and D, I think this is all meant for different models. Single, dual row. Now I believe this is a dual row bearing according to the engine code. Looks like I have everything here. Only thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to check with Pelican to be sure that I wasn't misinformed or if they forgot to send me that cover. Okay, luckily even with that broken box, everything is here. So lucky. Let's see, the Pelican Parts intermediate shaft bearing replacement kit includes improved center bearing bolt, outer race spacer for engine with double row bearings, inner race spacer for engine with double row bearings, replacement intermediate shaft bearing, center bolt O-ring, center bolt nut, long center bolt spacer for engine with single row bearings, short center bolt spacer for engines with double row bearings, snap ring for engines with single row bearings, spiral lock snap ring, double row bearings, 3 new micro encapsulated cover bolts, 3 M6 25mm insulation harbor bolts, 3 M6 1 by 25mm set screws, updated 3-groove flange seal, O-ring for older style flange seals. Okay, I don't get the cover. That's okay. I don't care. No one's gonna see it once the installed. Function over fashion. What's exciting? The work must go on. All right, we got some parts. We can move on. First thing, and Pelican Parts sticker. Pretty impressive actually. Ordered these parts on Monday. It is now Wednesday and everything is here. Fortunately, living in Canada, the exchange rate kind of sucks. As well as we end up having to pay duties and taxes when the stuff comes across the border. What are you gonna do, right? The price of Porsche ownership. Okay, so that's thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to replace the intermediate shaft bearing. Dreaded, scary, which has killed many Boxster's intermediate shaft bearing. That's the first thing I'm going to replace. So before I do that, I'm going to show you my spiffy, nice LN engineering intermediate shaft bearing tools that I actually ended up buying used on Kijiji here. And I'm near Toronto, and the tools were in Montreal, and coincidentally I went snowboarding out in Quebec, and the person who had the tools were just right off the highway. So basically on my ski trip I was able to pick up these snazzy LN engineering tools. I've had the pleasure actually of looking at them and holding them, and they are a thing of beauty. Alrighty, now I am going to just show all the different tools that come with the, I don't want to say toolkit, but all the tools it takes to change the intermediate shaft bearing. I bought these tools used on Kijiji, and they are actual LN engineering intermediate shaft bearing tools. And looking at them and touching them and feeling them, they are definitely made of some superior quality workmanship and material. And even though I haven't used them yet, I feel very confident doing this job. Yes, you can use a piece of conduit and a nut and bolt and rig something up, and I would be the first person to do that. But a job this important, I personally don't want to mess around with some hodgepodge jimmy rig tools. Something that if you mess up, I don't know what kind of damage you can do, but I'm not interested in splitting this case open. Okay, so let me show you what I got here. So here is this main tool. Let me pull out the threaded bolt rod here. And this is the, looks like a one-piece machine piece of cylindrical steel. I mean, it feels so nice. This is something that you can put on your coffee table. Looks so nice. Okay, so this is the part that's going to go right on the outside of the bearing of the intermediate shaft. And this threaded rod has a threaded hole inside here, through here. So you can put this in here, and you're gonna thread this threaded rod on top of the stud that goes through the bearing. Then you tighten it, and then you just use a wrench, 2 wrenches, and you just tighten this bolt here. And what happens then, as you tighten this, you'll see it slowly pulling out the bearing. See right here, and then it just, so in theory, that's all you need to do, right? I'm very, very impressed with this tool. Maybe when I'm done with this, I might put this on my desk, a reminder of this job. This is the main tool, obviously. Then the other two tools I have here is, well, the first one is pin is to lock the engine cylinder number 1 into top dead center position. Then we have these 2 brackets here. These 2 brackets are to lock the cams into place. I've already removed the cam plugs. One goes on this side. This is bank 4, 5, 6, and the other one goes on the other side. Here's bank 1, 2, 3, and one goes on the back of the engine, and the other one goes on the front of the engine. So we have these 3 tools, okay? And then here it looks like we have the tool to put the bearing in. There's some hammer marks on here. I guess somebody had to use a little bit more force. So what, actually, let me pull out the bearing here. So this will probably go on like this. Oh wow, that is just a thing of beauty. And then I shall be tapping it into the intermediate shaft like this. And what I've read online is that you want to put this into the freezer overnight. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll be doing this on a very, very hot day where the engine is nice and warm and the bearing is nice and cold, which shrinks. And that should be nice and easy to slide in there. I wonder if I have to put some lube or something on here. Maybe we'll figure all that out. Actually, what is not disappointing is all the hardware you get from Pelican Parts to do this job. That is very impressive, I have to say. Right, it's as impressive as these very nice LN engineering tools is all the parts that you get for doing this job. What I find a little disappointing is these measly instructions. Maybe I shouldn't say that these instructions are disappointing, because Pelican Parts puts in a lot of effort in putting all the technical instructional write-ups on their website, which is very, very helpful, right? And I'm going to obviously rely on going onto the website, so maybe I shouldn't be knocking these instructions because they have everything online, because everything is online. Wow, I'm somewhat excited to get this done. Other than the exchange rate and the duties and taxes I have to pay for this coming across the border, I can't complain. What a beautiful tool. It is just a thing of beauty. Well, it's like nothing else. That's it for me today. Tomorrow tomorrow I'm going to start locking the engine at top dead center, locking the cams, taking out the timing chain tensioners, and take out the intermediate shaft bearing. I'm a little tingly when I think about that. It looks like such a very important and serious job, and I would hate something messed up because this intermediate shaft bearing is in perfect condition. There's not a single metal filing in the oil. Drained the oil and dropped the sump. I didn't videotape that because I just didn't feel like it. Anyway, hopping to it.